There's a feeling of excitement, you can see it everywhere. The pride of our whole region is the heartbeat that we share. The heartbeat that we share. Taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. I will return.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
If you're traveling in Pensacola, watch for a stalled vehicle in the roadway, Pine Forest Road at Bush Street. Traffic signal is out West Fairfield Drive at North W Street. It's a 19-minute drive on the Bayway from I-65 to the Eastern Shore. Watch for an accident, Schillinger Road, south of Old Government Street Road. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
The Uncle Henry Show, weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
I think Kenny Rogers in The Gambler told us this. You got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them, and you got to know when to walk away.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you very much. I appreciate very much you listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Once again, here we are together, me and you. Just the two of us here trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on? What's gotten into people? Telephone number if you'd like to call the show for whatever reason. Well, as long as you're not calling about something pornographic or something. 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Today, in addition to any random thought that comes into my mind that I will express to you here on the Uncle Henry Show, I do have coverage of today's Mobile City Council meeting. I would like to commend the City of Mobile and the Mobile City Council for keeping their meeting to under an hour. What a blessing it is for government to keep their meetings short. The politicians had as little hot air as is. They're doing better on the hot air aspect of the Mobile City Council meetings. So we are seeing progress in the city of Mobile amongst the political class with less hot air on display at the Mobile City Council meetings. Now, today's meeting will be a very impactful Mobile City Council meeting for some Mobilians because as you may have noticed, some Mobilians are very hemp and THC oriented for whatever reason. They make all kind of claims about, oh, I need this hemp beverage for this or for that, or I've got an ingrown toenail that only the hemp product can really penetrate that ingrown toenail just the right way to get me feeling right. Whatever it is. Today, the Mobile City Council took action, and they greenlit, once again, the sale of hemp products in the city of Mobile. The Lamiac newspaper website, lamiacmobile.com. The first sentence of their report says, it reads as follows: CBD edibles, drinks, and more will soon return to Mobile stores after the Mobile City Council greenlit an ordinance for licensing the sale of hemp products, as well as licenses for 4 stores around the city. So you, the hemp-oriented, that have your ingrown toenail and all these things, they've greenlit the sale of hemp. Now, for you and me, now I'm not a hemp seltzer drinker or a hemp gummy eater, or well, what do you do with a gummy? Do you gum it? Whatever it is you're doing to it. In fact, I don't know that I want to know. If you would restrict yourself to not mentioning that when you call the show. But if you're like me and you don't understand, I don't quite understand the romance with the hemp product. I've received numerous calls about the hemp product. More about hemp seltzers than war in the Middle East. I get more calls on seltzers with hemp in it than war in the Middle East. So if you're curious about this, I've got the public speaking of Sabrina Mass. Local citizen activist Sabrina Mass addressed the Mobile City Council today to explain why the hemp products are needed in the community. Let's listen and learn together as Sabrina Mass teaches us all about the hemp drinks, the CBD edibles, and more.
Good morning, Sabrina Mass. I'm definitely in favor of this ordinance. Now, I am not one that indulges in all those things.
She does not indulge. She's like me. She's not in there indulging on she's not gumming on these things.
The hemp and the CBD or what have you. However, I will say I'm in support of it because as a nurse, I definitely know that these things help with people that need it medically. And, you know, I don't think a lot of people know that there is a drug called Marinol that has been in use for at least over 30 years here in Mobile, Alabama.
Marinol. Now, I've never heard of that. Maybe it's something, maybe I did spray, sounds like something I sprayed on some chicken breast once before I baked it. Is that what she's talking about, Marinol?
Alabama, that is given to patients so that it can stimulate their appetite, and it is marijuana. It's in the form of a pill. You get it from the pharmacy. It's called Marinol. I've given it to many patients, and so I'm trying to...
By the way, this is the first I've learned after several years of Sabrina Mass speaking at council meetings that she's got patients. I wonder how I can become a patient.
Figure out if that's already legal. How is this even a debate? I'm confused. I've always been confused on that topic. So I say support the hemp. It's more than just people getting high or whatever you want to say.
Good. I'm glad of that.
Think about people that are the veterans, elderly people, people that have seizures. Me, myself, I have migraines. I can indulge in it. I'm a very natural person. I try to be. And I also would like to say, if I may, if we can revisit also the ordinances that were that the mayor, the former mayor Stimson, and the city council and public safety were looking at for the ordinance for the marijuana to be changed and looked at. We keep getting to that topic, but it never goes any further than discussions. I'm thinking that you guys are familiar with that, about making it a small trace of marijuana with citizens that it just becomes a traffic citation. I'm not encouraging anybody to use it, but it's not going anywhere. It's just not. And
It's not going anywhere. But could it? Is there any way that it could go somewhere?
other cities
I
have
mean, so could we, like, ask it to go somewhere else?
already adopted.
North Mobile is very pretty, especially this time of year.
In Alabama, Birmingham, Montgomery, their mayors have already adopted the
You know, Creola, you don't realize how beautiful Creola is.
ordinance to make a small amount of marijuana just a traffic citation. So I'm definitely in favor of this ordinance that you guys have put before you, and it would definitely help the economy, as we all know. So thank you, and you guys have a nice day.
All right, Sabrina Mass, she's providing some education. You may not have realized it, but the fizzy CBD beverages can help the elderly. I heard her mention the elderly. I heard her mention veterans can be helped by this. She also said that the harsher hard drug of marijuana is not going anywhere. But is that true? Could we get it to go somewhere? We've got a lot of room in Alabama. Doesn't have to be here. I mean, there's room elsewhere. Back with more from the Mobile City Council meeting as the Uncle Henry Show continues.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
If you're traveling in Pensacola, watch for a stalled vehicle in the roadway, Pine Forest Road at Bush Street. Traffic signal is out West Fairfield Drive at North W Street. It's a 19-minute drive on the Bayway from I-65 to the Eastern Shore. Watch for an accident, Schillinger Road, south of Old Government Street Road. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Beau Rivage. Emo's Not Dead presents Emo Orchestra with...
If anybody is on YouTube, thank you for looking. Been a while. Hello to Bama Big Man, 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley, R. Nail, JD, yes, the gas prices. Yes, JD, you're right. Bill Odell, hello. Thank you to the small number of people looking in on the YouTube. Going to be back on the radio here in just a few minutes. Roll Tide. 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley. Let me see if there's anything I can tell you about. While wait, I did not look at the weird news file. I've been that busy today that I've not yet looked at the weird news file, which I do look at on a regular basis because the weird news is worth noting. And in the weird news file today, less than a year ago, James Farthing was the winner of the largest lottery jackpot in the history of the state of Kentucky. I think he got $167 million when he won the lottery jackpot less than a year ago in Kentucky. He's in the news because he's been arrested for the third time now since winning the lottery. He was charged with marijuana possession and second-degree burglary. So burgling even after winning $167 million. This is a real-life illustration of how money does not solve everything. Now, it's good to have a lot of it. No doubt. Good to have a lot of it. Very good. Doesn't solve everything. Let's see. There is a mansion in Salina, Texas, that is valued at $5 million. The $5 million mansion in Salina, Texas, is rented out as an Airbnb. Recently, the owner rented it out to what he thought would be 7 people, and it turned out to be 800 teenagers partying. The damage, no dollar amount yet on the damage. But, I mean, they almost took the house apart. I do believe teenagers are not just the same as they've always been. I don't believe that anymore. I think they're even worser. Oh, going back on the radio here in about 45 seconds with more of this Uncle Henry Show stuff.
Mid-morning through late afternoon with a rain chance at 40%. We'll have a high in the low 80s. I'm Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith of this iHeartRadio station.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710, WNTM. It's 520. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Today, Mobile City Council meeting. Have a little bit more coverage for you today of today's Mobile City Council meeting. The big news, at least for the hemp-oriented, is that the Mobile City Council now given the green light to hemp products returning to store shelves in Mobile, Alabama. Now, so that for those that are truly oriented toward this, this is just a little bit more on the topic. I'll let you hear the discussion of how this is all going to work. Here is the Mobile City Council talking about the hemp ordinance right before they voted yes on all of it.
6017, ordinance to amend the Mobile City Code to add Chapter 36, consumable hemp products.
So moved.
Second. Properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Mr. Reynolds.
I have an amendment to offer to make sure that these hemp licenses will follow the exact same process that a liquor license follows. I've outlined those changes and provided everyone a copy. There's one on copy with the clerk's office as well.
Second. Been properly moved and second. Any discussion on the amendment?
Mr. President.
Mr. Woods.
Jock Woods now speaking.
Josh Wood.
I appreciate the amendment. Basically, kind of just sum it up. It's going to go through the exact, just like Mr. Reynolds said, go through the exact process that an ABC license does. It also allows each and every council member, each and every week to take a look at what's coming in and what's going in their district. One thing that I really think, and I know that Councilmember Reynolds mentioned it last week and had some discussion, is I think that we need to look at what this looks like moving forward, where these businesses can operate. I know there's some based on what the state law is, again, that the House bill brought up and the state passed. I'm kind of limiting and putting in some limitations of what has to occur and what they have to sell in order to sell these products. My big fear, especially in my district, is strip shopping centers that all of a sudden something comes up and a business closes for some various reason, and subleases out their business to a hemp shop or another liquor store. So that's a concern that I have personally. I think this amendment allows us to take that into consideration and look at where they're going in our district. So I think that's something that we have to look moving forward to see if we can address, but that's all I just wanted to add to that.
Jock Wood.
Yes, indeed. So you heard the reasoning there. They just want to make sure that that no one council member's district is suddenly inundated with CBD businesses. Now, after all this, according to the Lamiak report, the Mobile City Council voted to award hemp licenses to Healthy Harvest CBD on Government Boulevard, Cloud9 Vapes on Rangeline and Airport Boulevard, and Cheap Ass Liquor on Azalea Road. That's an interesting name, Cheap Ass Liquor on Azalea Road. So those are now 4 establishments that have their licenses, and I'm sure that many more will join in. Now let's see what else. Let me see if I can wrap up Mobile City Council coverage for you. Young Mayor Spiro was there at the Mobile City Council meeting today, and let's see, he had what he said was exciting news for the city of Mobile. Now, I'm going to let you hear what he said. This is about a minute long, and you can decide for yourself, is this exciting, as young Mayor Spiro says it is?
And exciting news, our website is changing.
Yes, a new website.
We're going to a .gov website domain.
Now, in a moment, I'll unpause it so you can hear why this is good to go to .gov. Let the city of Mobile have a .gov website. But it just reminded me, I saw a list earlier this week of the jobs that are most likely to get wiped out by artificial intelligence, AI. And I think website development was like the number one. I think that was it. That was number one on the list is people that develop websites. So just if you are a website developer, heads up. All right, back to the excitement. The exciting news of .gov.
And exciting news, our website is changing. We are going to a .gov website domain here in the city of Mobile. That new website is live right now. It's www.cityofmobile.gov. This change designates the city.
I'm sorry to pause there again. Do you type out www when you're on the internet? Just curious. He was giving out the www. Do you ever type that out? You know, I might try that one day and see what happens.
City's website is a verified government platform, which is highly restricted. It provides an added level of assurance and hopefully helps to prevent fraud and scams. In addition to the website, the email address for all city employees is also moved to a .gov domain, further enhancing security and consistency. So if you get an email from anything other than a .gov in the city of Mobile, you know, maybe don't click the link and definitely don't download the attachment before you check it out. The previous .org website and emails will continue to redirect to the users, corresponding users to the .gov address. Hopefully this will help ensure access to city services isn't interrupted during the transition. But I really want to thank our MIT staff for ensuring this change is smooth, not just for the employees, but especially for the citizens.
Yes, indeed. And thanks to that staff, let's hope that AI doesn't eventually wipe them out. You know, and now that I've said that, I wonder around the country, will government unions start to demand legislation that would prevent layoffs caused by AI? I just told you. I looked at the list of jobs most vulnerable to AI. Website developer would be one. I wonder if that'll be the first. I wonder if there will be government unions around the country that'll come up with legislation telling the politicians, hey, we've got to have this so that we are not wiped out by AI in the future. But anyway, that is your city council coverage from today. Hemp now approved in the city of Mobile for your fizzy beverages and your gummy products. And they've moved to .gov to add an extra layer of protection for you, the citizen, in whatever way you will be protected by it. That is your news from today's Mobile City Council meeting, as heard here on the Uncle Henry Show. Now, when we come back, I will take the City Council meeting and I will wipe it off of my shoes. Yes, I'll wipe it off of my shoes and chart a different path onto the program. More Uncle Henry Show after the news break here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design.com Traffic Center.
Heavy congestion is developing north on I-65. We've got an accident in the right lane on the Delta bridges, and it involves an overturned vehicle. We're also getting word of a breakdown east on I-10 at Texas Street in Mobile. It's in the far right lane. If you're traveling across the Bayway from I-65 to the Eastern Shore, it's a 20-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. Mobile's new arena is getting closer to being done. The City Council signed off on a $238,000 deal for a new basketball floor, plus storage carts and transition ramps. That money was already in the budget, and city leaders say construction is about halfway done. The mayor, Spiro Gauss, also wants to bring back the large murals from the old Civic Center, saying the city already paid to remove and store them. He wants fans to see them inside the new building. The arena is still on track to open by Mardi Gras. The council also passed new rules for hemp retailers, making them go through a process similar to liquor licenses. Shops will need city council approval before the state ABC board signs off, and owners could start applying as soon as next week. Big changes are coming to Mobile's bus system. Fox 10 News tested the current Wave Transit service, riding from McGowan Park to Government Plaza. On paper, that trip should take a little over 30 minutes with no transfers, but the bus showed up 7 minutes late. Got so crowded the driver had to turn riders away on Government Street and ended up behind schedule. It skipped Government Plaza, goes straight to the end of the line downtown, and reset. Across the bay, some Baldwin County 5th graders are being honored for how they see America. The County Commission recognized winners of the America 250 poster contest, where students design art around the theme, What Freedom Means to Me. Commissioners went to schools to congratulate the winners, and their posters will be on display in County Commission offices. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The Pentagon's weighing whether to send ground troops into Iran. President Trump maintains this war will end soon. Florida Republican Congressman Greg Steube telling Fox Business that Iran should negotiate.
It'd be very smart of the current Iranian leadership to cut some type of deal to be able to ensure that their security and safety in the region would be very smart on their behalf. But it doesn't seem like they're willing to do that.
This partial Department of Homeland Security shutdown officially becoming the longest shutdown of any kind, beating the previous record set near the end of last year. Florida Senator Rick Scott, also on Fox Business, says Congress is failing to pass funding legislation, but President Trump did not.
He brought in ICE first, and then he figured out how to repurpose funds. So the lines are gone. The airports are safer. So, again, thank God for President Trump that he's doing everything he can to protect us, keep us safe.
America is listening to Fox News.
YouTube viewers, if there's anybody left, hello to you. Going to be back on the radio here in just a couple of minutes. Trying to figure out something to talk about on the Uncle Henry Show. Hello to Stephen Nair. Hello to you. Sharon of Fairhope. Hello to you. Chuck. And by the way, Chuck, I'm finally going to be interviewing a guest that Chuck suggested back in February. I apologize for taking me that long, but the topic of homeless Going to get into that later in the week with that guest provided by Chuck. Chuck, thank you for the guest suggestion. Now, let me see. And Pat Nelly. There's Pat Nelly. Let's see. What can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? Going to be back on in about a minute. A man, let's see, has made it into the Guinness Book of World Records by skiing across an asphalt parking lot at 69 miles per hour while being towed by a car. He was pulled behind a vehicle along a pre-measured flat track. He's a former U.S. Air Force pilot. I guess needed a thrill of some kind. I do not want to be towed behind a truck on skis on asphalt. That does not sound safe.
It's at 11 on News Radio 710 WNTM.
It says the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. You can also hear me on FM radio. I'm on 95 KSJ. Monday through Friday from 10 to 2, playing today's hottest country. Now, tomorrow, there's some contest that is starting tomorrow that I can't even talk about yet because the rules are not finalized. I'll just say that we're going to have some very, very sought after tickets that are going to be available tomorrow, and we'll be telling people how to win them tickets tomorrow. I can't tell you anything else about it because the rules are not finalized yet. Shelby was waiting for corporate. Anytime we do anything, corporate's got to weigh in. So we had to wait for corporate to let her know about the rules. But anyway, listen tomorrow. I'll be talking about it right after 10 o'clock tomorrow and right after noon. I can't tell you more, but very sought-after tickets from 95 KSJ starting tomorrow. So tell the young ones. And by the way, if you love going to concerts or young folks in your family love going to concerts, tell them to head to 95KSJ.com. There are so many different concert tickets available now for winning at 95KSJ.com. Telephone number here if you'd like to call the Uncle Henry Show, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Real quick, I want to go to a very brief voicemail that came in.
Psalm 145, verses 8 and 9. The Lord is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger and great in mercy. The Lord is good to all, and his tender mercies are over all his works.
Thank you very much. 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley phoning in the Bible verses. Thank you for that. That's a wonderful use of the voicemail. Voicemail number 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. Now, yesterday at this time, I had an interview from a country and western star on the Uncle Henry Show. That is because we had the going away party for Randy Kennedy of Sports Talk 99.5 FM yesterday. And I was caught off guard that the party was going to be on a Monday afternoon. So that is why, if you were wondering, why is Uncle Henry talking to a country music guy? That's why that it was on yesterday. It was a last-minute and wonderful send-off for Randy Kennedy, who did his last show today before retirement on Sports Talk 99.5 FM. Hello, caller.
Hey.
Is this Norman?
Norman?
Yeah, it's Norman. Yeah, I'm driving, so I got you on speakerphone, so I'm getting a echo.
Well, we'll take you any way we can get you, Norman. Norman, what is on your mind these days?
Well, I got a couple of things. First, I was listening, to the show, and you're talking about the marijuana. Now they're gonna make it legal, and I got Councilman Woods. You got to wonder, with the kids in school or what have you. They have the 4-H where they have the cow competition and the hog calling and the greased pig racing and stuff like that. Are they going to have a cannabis growing thing now? Where they have the jam and stuff like the farmer's market, or they have a different, hemp clothing and, stuff like the hippies and that kind of mess.
Marijuana is not yet legal. There's some kind of hemp derivative that they put in children's gummies and in seltzery beverages for people. But I don't believe marijuana itself is legal yet. It is still illegal.
Well, it's still, them folks are still, ordering it and buying it online and getting it shipped and stuff. I guess they are. You see it advertised, and I'm like, my goodness, what in the world? But I didn't know. The other thing, I had family come in from out of town, and they all wanted me to go down to the beach with them, and we're going to go to one place, and it don't close because it's still, it ain't open because it's still off season. So we went to that park, that big old Oa Park.
Yeah.
And that thing, it's a big old nice park. There's a lot of folks there, and made me get in this water with them. And at the lake of the river, there's a whole bunch of kids and a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of mess. I'm just hoping I don't get sick, with all that sneezing and booger machines and little snot-nosed youngins rolling around in there.
Yo, so you've already been?
Mama said you got to go, yeah. I'm on my way back.
Oh, you're on your way back?
Yeah, it's a long day. Like a long way to go out there and hang with a bunch of people that you don't know. And I was looking at it. It's a good little idea. It's a good place. It's pretty neat, but they need to repaint some of those rides and stuff, and they need to put a fresh coat of paint on some of that stuff. It's like water stains and rust stains and looking, it's still. How old is that place? It ain't that old.
No,
years. How long has that been?
It's only been a couple of years. It's only been 2 or 3 years. It feels like.
Yeah, they need to hire. They got a bunch of foreigners there, a bunch of Hispanics working over there, and some kids, but they need to give them paintbrushes and put them up on there and paint some of that stuff. Do a little maintenance, a little upkeep. Spend that much money, I want that stuff to be shiny.
I can understand. And it gives you more peace of mind when you're worried about bacteria and viruses in the water.
You're right. And I think, my nephew and his grandkids are trying to get me on these rides and stuff, and I think I rode some of these rides and probably I'll throw my back out. I might have to go lay in the floor.
Well, I hate to hear that.
Goodness.
You're making fun sound quite overrated.
It's hard. It's bad enough. I want to stay home. I want to just watch TV or read. I don't listen. I don't want to go anywhere or see anybody or do anything. They make me drive an hour to get over there to be with people and get in the water with them. And I didn't even go to the beach.
And you know what? As an older person, they ought to be coming to you. They ought to be coming to you and instead of making you go somewhere, they ought to come to you.
You are absolutely right. Anyhow, I don't want to just call and gripe, but, that's what we do at our age.
That's true.
Hope everybody's been doing good. I try to listen to the show when I can. I just can't call because I stay so busy.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that at least you're staying busy. That means you're alive.
Anyhow, everybody, y'all have a good day, and God bless America, and roll tide, roll.
Roll, Tide roll. Norman, thank you very much for your phone call. Norman, you could tell he had stressed out after going to OWA and having too much fun. He had fun for a different age. The type of fun he described was really not for his age group, I don't believe. But he did his best. And you heard him talking about wanting to stay home and watch television. That's one of the things about getting older. You work for many years and you think, well, one day maybe I can retire and sit down. And then you find out. When you get to be a certain age, they tell you that the worst thing you can do is sit down. That's what they say. That's what they tell you. The longer you sit, the worse it is for you. So those of you that are under retirement age, don't sit around and fantasize about sitting in the future. There'll be a lot of standing up.
Traveling eastbound across the Bayway, watch for congestion due to a stalled vehicle in the right lane. I-10 east at Texas Street, and as you make your way from I-65 to the Eastern Shore, it's an 18-minute drive. We also have an accident, Highway 181 at Gayfer Road in Fairhope, and an accident in the right lane north on I-65 on the Delta Bridges. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by IHOP. Make today a little better with IHOP.
YouTube viewers, Nelson Dorgang. Hello to you, Nelson. Yes, the whole swimming pool thing at a certain age. Ben Griffin. Ben, it is nice to see you. Yes, I did make a recipe out of the healthy cookbook that Ben Griffin gave me back. I guess it was right after I got out of the hospital for chest pains. And I made lemon artichoke chicken or something. And it was as bland. I knew it was healthy because it had no other redeeming quality. But Ben, I'm going to continue on. I'm going to figure out some other things to try in that recipe book. Slow cooker recipe book. Ben Griffin, don't apologize. You were trying to help me live. Don't apologize for trying to help me live, Ben. And I like lemons, and I like chicken, and I like artichoke. It sounded like a good idea. It just needed more fat and sugar in it. So, just needed some more fat and sugar in it, and salt, and it would have been good. And that maybe I can make the recipe again and just throw in some salt and some sugar and some fat in there, some kind. Might be good then. Now, I ate it, let's see, I ate it Sunday, and then I ate it again. No, when did I make it? Did I make it? No, I made it Sunday. Anyway, I've eaten it several times. And this morning, my dog had some of it. And I was able to make her eat it by just sprinkling a little Romano cheese on it. But I'm not not a great cook. And I've reached an age where, you know what? That's fine. You know, I can survive off the sloppy Joe. That's what I would rather have anyway, is a sloppy Joe. All right, let's see. What can I tell you about? And it was not the dog was very happy to get some actual chicken instead of food that has been assigned the labeled dog food. And let me see, before I go back onto the radio, there was some other weird news story to share with you. Oh, listen to this. The American Meteor Society, not meteorology, but meteor. The American Meteor Society is sounding the alarm. They say there's been an unusual surge in fireball events this year. Researchers say that the first quarter of this year has seen significantly more high-witness fireball sightings than any similar period on record. Now, they don't have any advice on what to do. They just are sounding the alarm. I don't know what you're supposed to buy, a hat? Maybe get yourself a helmet? I don't know. What are you supposed to do?
With the iHeartRadio app, now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. It is 5:50. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. In the next hour, 6 o'clock hour, Uncle Henry Show, I'm going to talk to an allegedly smart guy that is the new executive director of the Mobile Bay National Estuary Program. They have come out with a new report on Mobile Bay. And so I'm going to ask this guy, how's the bay? Is it any good? So if you're interested in Mobile Bay and what allegedly smart people think about it, that is coming up after 6 o'clock here on the Uncle Henry Show. After the news on News Radio 710 WNTM. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Now, yesterday was a brand new Uncle Henry Show, but it was all recorded like a couple of hours before the show because I found out that they were holding a going away party for Randy Kennedy and another employee here, Missy too. They had the going away party yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock in downtown Mobile. So I didn't want to miss their going away party. Randy's been here for a few years, but Missy, another person that has worked here, she was here back year 2000, 2001. I mean, she's been around a while, so I couldn't miss the party. So yesterday, a hastily assembled but fresh, brand new Uncle Henry Show that included an interview with 90s country star Ty Herndon. And I got a voicemail about, and in fact, and I had another interview with another country singer after 6 o'clock yesterday, and I got a voicemail about all that.
Hey, Uncle Henry, Navco Bill. Just listening to what I think, because I missed the opening minutes of the show, is a recorded show, but not bad at all. I think
Thank you for that.
You said freshly recorded.
Yes, freshly.
And you were talking about the term country western music and Bill Black not liking that classification.
Now, and I'm pausing there just to clarify for the listener that may not have been listening yesterday due to their having a full life and something to do. When I started on 95 KSJ about 4 years ago now, the program director, Bill Black, he would get very irritated if somebody would say the phrase country and western in describing the music. He didn't like that. He did not like, it was country, not country and western, according to Bill Black. Back to the voicemail.
And Bill Black not liking that classification. But if you go back to a favorite movie of mine, The Blues Brothers, they walk into a bar and they're looking to play a gig, and they ask the lady behind the bar what kind of music they have there, and she says, I believe, both kinds, country and western. So, Bill Black might need to, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. Seeing as I have an NFC policy when it comes to country, rock and roll, baby. Y'all have a good day.
All right, Navco Bill. By the way, Navco Bill, thank you for listening to the show. I appreciate that very much. And the voicemail number 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976. You're referring to the Blues Brothers movie, the scene where the Blues Brothers band went into, was it Bob's Country Bunker, to perform behind chicken wire on stage. Now, that movie is a great example of why we need some type of streaming service where they take R-rated movies and remove the cuss words and the nudity. Now, I think years ago, somebody came up with something like that, and they got sued for doing it. But we need a stream. I'd pay $20 a month for a streaming service that provided movies where the cuss words were cut out of them and the nakedness and the blankuality was cut out of it. I would. Because a movie like The Blues Brothers is ruined by the foul language. The movie has horrible foul language in it, but you've got redeeming things in the movie. You've got James Brown doing gospel. You've got Aretha Franklin in there. You've got Ray Charles in there with an outstanding performance. You've got all these outstanding performances ruined, and you can't show it to your kid or your grandkids because of all the filth in it. Or I'll take that back. You could show it to your kids or grandkids if you're a sleazeball. Why can't they come up with a streaming service that cuts the cuss words out of the movies like that movie so that the world can enjoy something good like that music in that movie? Cuss words make everything worse.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. A bill in response to last year's commercial air crash in the Potomac River at Reagan National Airport is in limbo. The House failed to pass.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. I appreciate that. I will be back tomorrow at the regular time. I'm going to have a few in-studio guests, not for the whole hour, but for a little while. So please join me again on YouTube tomorrow at the regular time. I'm turning the camera off. The show continues on AM radio with the State of the Bay.
And it gives the military more leeway on exactly when aircraft need to broadcast their location. Moreover, supporters of the Alert Act argue that their bill is more comprehensive than the Rotor bill. That reversal, along with the White House's silence on the bill, gave cover for Republicans to vote the bill down. 22 members of the House Armed Services Committee voted against the bill. NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady has come out strongly against the Alert Act. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
The Declaration of Deals sales event is going on now at